Self-Love Sunday. I am Moe Sass, your host of Self-Love Sundays with Sass. I am your certified vision and empowerment and extreme execution coach who comes every single Sunday so we can talk about all the ways in which you can better your best. I cannot believe it's March. It is literally March Madness. March is a favorite month of mine because my sons were born in March, so we get to celebrate lots of big birthdays this year. So I'm super excited about that. And for those of you who made your yearly goals and broke them down into quarters like we talked about, and if you haven't had an opportunity, please go back and check out my content because I talk about how to create your goal for the year and then break it down into quarters. So for those of you who've been following, you know that we are in the last month of quarter one. And for those of you who have not, here's what I'll say to you. It's never too late to get it on paper. You can also put it, well, what do you want to accomplish in the month of March, and then kick it up a notch. And then you can go to quarters if you choose to do so. But today we're talking about 5 ways to make sure that you finish quarter one strong. Number 1, I want to make sure that you are 100% clear on what it is that you need to have completed. Because what I find is with clients is a lot of times they are pivoting all over the place. They have that shiny, it's like that shiny goal syndrome. It's like soon as something new flashes in front of their face, they're all over the place chasing things that have nothing to do with their goals. So the question, that's what leads me to the question is, are you clear on what needs to be completed? In other words, is the vision written and is it plain? Because the vision speaks of the end, okay? So we know where we need to end, right? So for example, I have some clients where their quarter one goal was to release, and we don't say lose, we say release 15, 20 pounds. Some is to, earn $5,000 in their business. Some is to start a business, right? So we know what the end is. So then we break it down of what we need to do every single day to make sure that happens. Okay. Just wanted to give you a little back. So are you sure? Are you clear on what needs to be completed to make sure you are successful with completing your quarter one goal? All right. Number 2, are you prioritizing the hard things first? Because what happens is with most people is they want to put the hard things off until last, and that's not, it never works. It just never does. So for example, if your quarter one goal is to release a certain amount of weight, are you getting in that exercise first thing in the morning? When most times people are like, listen, this is hard. It's hard, right? If exercising is the hard thing, get it over with first things in the morning. If it's nutrition, that's the hard thing. Are you meal prepping? Are you preparing your meals ahead of time so you're not wandering around and squandering around on where to get food? I'm going to tell you for me, because I do also have a weight loss goal that I'm looking to achieve in 2024. I signed on to do the Weight Watchers app because I understand that my body is made in the kitchen. It is literally going to be a caloric deficit that's going to get you to where you need to be. And because I'm older now, I'm in my 40s, and I'm starting to experience the menopause, child, the pause, don't put its pause on me, okay? But because I'm experiencing that, I realize I have to move my body a lot more than I used to because the weight just doesn't fall off like it did for me in my 20s and 30s. It's not the same anymore. So I'm actually, to ensure that I meet my quarter one goal, I decided to do 2 workouts a day in the month of March. Yes, you're going to have to get mad in the month of March if you desire to meet your Q1 goal. Listen, I look at it as if we are running a marathon and you're almost at the end. And when you're at the end, you don't slow down, you pick up speed. Okay, so that's what I want you to start to think about. Like, we're almost at the end of this marathon. We only have about three more weeks left until the end of quarter one. This is the time to kick it up a notch. This is the time to shut the TV off more, right? This is the time to really get focused, get clear. This is the time to spend some time really thinking about what it is you need to get in action with every single day. You need to be touching your goal daily. I'm going to say it again. You need to be touching your goals daily. Every single day, you should be doing something that moves that needle to help you to completion. Again, I just use me as a prime example because I don't always like to utilize my clients because they do watch my videos and sometimes they're like, really? But nobody don't know who y'all are. But I like to use me. So every single day, tracking my meals with Weight Watchers, and every single day I'm working out, right? Every single day I'm drinking a minimum of 6 bottles of water, and they're 16.9 ounce bottles, okay? That's every single day that I'm doing that. Now, Sundays, which is today, I will not be doing 2 workouts. I'll just do one because like I can still walk and it's not extenuating on my body, okay? So I'm telling you, this March Madness, you have to listen, when you want to achieve something, you have to go all in. And there's times when you have to kick it up and you have to be a little mad. So March Madness is going to be all about what can we do to ensure that we meet our goals at the end of this month, all right? So number 1, you have to be clear on what you need to complete. Number 2, prioritize the hard things first. It's time to really dive deep into those things that you consider harder than others, okay? Number 3, I need you to look back on January and February. I need to know what worked, what didn't work, where you may need to pivot, and make sure that your goal is SMART, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. So we have the time. The time is we're going to complete it in Q1, right? So we have to make sure that you did. This is where I see a lot of people go wrong to me. So we're going to use weight because that's where I'm in. They'll say, oh, in 3 months, I want to lose 25, 30 pounds. Here's the thing. Is it doable? Yes. Is it healthy? Not sure. It depends on if you're working with a nutritionist and a fitness expert, okay? I'm not saying it's not doable for everyone, but I'm talking specifically to women of my age that are going through menopause. It may not be, okay? And we want to make sure you're losing it healthy, and then you're not feeling defeated because you set this goal of, oh, I'm going to lose 30 pounds and didn't get there. So on average, anybody should be able to lose between 5 to 8 pounds a month healthy. Okay, 5 to 8 pounds a month. So to me, that's why I chose 15, right? 5 pounds per month, I should be able to move. And again, it's been really hard. And you're talking about someone who was certified to teach fitness and taught fitness for 10 years. And I was teaching it when I was a little bit younger. I didn't experience menopause. I hadn't experienced what all the hormonal shifts that happen in a woman's body. And so now that I'm going through that, I have to change up. What I did those years before is not going to work now. Okay, so I have to shift even what I'm eating. And so here's the thing. I didn't just say, oh, well, this is what's happening to my body, I'm just going to leave it. No, I stepped out of my comfort zone and I sought out help. I don't care that I was a previous fitness professional. Guess what? I did not learn when I was getting certified. It was how to work with women who are going through menopause, who are going through hormonal changes. I didn't learn that. So now I have to seek that out, get help for it, and change up what I did before because it's not the same. Okay? And I'm expressing it to you like that is because a lot of times people get frustrated because they want to keep doing the same thing, hoping for a different result. Well, it depends on where you are in your life, where you are in your journey. Okay? It's not going to work. There was a Siri, what's his name? Siri, I can't think of his last name. He was a therapist and he talked about how every 7, 11, 18 years we change, okay? And so every 18 years, your whole being changed. So what you did the last 18 is not going to help you in the next 18 years. So you have to think of things differently. You have to move differently. You have to open yourself up to receive help. And just because you never needed it before don't mean you need it now. I didn't need help in this area before, but guess what? I need it now. And so I'm going to reach out to get the help that I need. Why? Because I'm determined to be successful. So I'm going to stop right here and ask you, are you determined to be successful? Because if you are, you won't let a small thing like getting help stop you. Okay? So again, number 1, be clear on what needs to be completed. Number 2, prioritize the hard things first. Number 3, look back and reflect. What worked in January and February? What didn't work? Are your goals SMART? Do you need help? And who is it that can help you? Okay? Next, Delegate where you can. If we're in March Madness, okay, we're crunching down. Now is the time to kick it up a notch. If there is something where you can get someone else to do it, get somebody else to do it. Delegate where you can. A lot of times people want to hold on to things and they just want to do it themselves. Guess what? We're not meant, and I say it over and over again, we're not meant to do things alone. Collaboration is king in 2023. If you don't know this, I feel sorry for you. I don't care what industry you in. I don't care what your business is. If you don't understand that collaboration is king and you need to get around some big thinkers, people who think bigger than you, who has span wider than you, you're going to be lost this year. I said it early. I said this in 2022. Things are changing. So you have to get with the program and begin to change. Anyone who is a leader should be working on personally developing themselves all year, every year. You should always be a student of someone who is 2 places ahead of you. Okay? So that's going to be really, really important. You may need to pivot, and that's okay, but I don't want us to quit. I'm going to say it again. You may need to pivot, but I don't want you to quit. So it's just a matter of weighing out what worked for you, what didn't work, and then ask yourself, why didn't it work? Do you have a system in place? You're only as successful as your system. Do you have a system in place? So that's what I need you to ask yourself. And then when you think about what worked and what didn't work, if something didn't work, can you delegate that? Can someone help you with that? And I hear this thing. People are like, well, no, there's no one to help me. I don't have any help. I'm going to say this to you. And I'm going to say it is a general statement, but I'm going to say it. When I stopped saying I had no help, when I stopped saying I can't get anybody to do anything, guess what happened? People showed up for me. You wouldn't believe, even when it came down to me writing my book, I didn't have to hire a coach to help me do that. Why? People showed up for me because I stopped saying that I didn't have help. I started saying like help is all around me. Opportunities flow to me. I started speaking that, and what happened was it opened my eyes to some things. Now, some of it was God. I will never act like it was me. I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you about Lady Ty the Great. I had one phone call with her. She is currently a coach. She coaches people to complete their books. And it was that story, her and I will have to tell together about how I just follow what God told me to do. And I didn't know that he had gave her a plan that she was going to help 3 people who helped her, right? Because God sent her people who like has a heart of his or whatever. That's what she told me. That's not what I'm saying. And because I just was obedient to God's word to help someone who was in need, she turned around in one phone call, because I was like writing this book, but I was kind of like lost in it. One phone call, off to the races, and the book was done. Not even just that. I talk about a man that I met at a conference. His name was Felix. I didn't know Felix, but I knew I knew I needed to talk to him. I just didn't know why. And so we talked, and then I ended up getting his information. And last year, Valentine's Day, 2022, we had a Zoom meeting. And during that conversation, he really helped me understand spiritual laws. He's wonderful in that aspect and in that realm. He helped me understand some how to move money. Okay? So again, didn't cost me a dime. Why? Because I was obedient to God's word, and I set opportunities all around me. I put myself in miracle territory, so therefore I experience miracles. This is why I step out of my comfort zone often. I know I'm talking about me, but here's what I want to tell you. These are the things that I teach. Where to strategically place yourself, why you should be there, what intentions you should set, how life and death is in your tongue. These are things that I work through with my clients, and they also get the same results. But I use me as the example again because I don't always like to tell their stories. And it can be you too, if you get out of your own way. Okay? So, moving on from that. Delegate where you can. That was number 4. And number 5, pick up the speed. You're at the end of the marathon. What does that mean? I need you to get consistent. Consistency. Like I said, every single day, you should be doing 1 to 2 things to move the needle on your goal. Every single day, you should be doing something to move the needle on your goal. Too many people are sitting right in the plan, still sitting right in the plan. You're writing the plan for something that's not going to go anywhere because you're not moving. What is the point of having something, written and you're not even moving on it? And then some of you are so busy consuming, just consumers of information, but not doing anything with it. And then you'll say things like, well, I didn't get anything out of it, or, it's not enough for me. But that's because all you are a consumer of information, but you're not doing anything with it. What are you doing with the last bit of information that you received? Some people come and watch these videos and they're consistently watch them, but what have you done? What action have you actually taken? It can only work if you get into action. It's funny because people go to these programs and they're like, well, I didn't get anything out the program, but did you do it? Did you get into action? Did you make a plan where you're consistently touching the goal every single day? Do you have an accountability partner? Are you a part of a community of like-minded people? Are you surrounding yourself with like-minded people? I made a general rule in 2024. I am not going out. I'm not meeting with people unless we are aligned. If they're not aligned with my morals, values, and principles, I'm not doing it. And I'm not making any excuses for it. Why? Because I have a huge vision. So that requires me to make sure that I'm in alignment with where I'm headed, in alignment with what the end is for me. Collaborating with other women is so important. Collaboration is king. Why? Because I know how I think. I am what they call a flight attendant and the pilot. That means when I'm on task, I'm on task. I'm going to get that thing done. I'm going to drive it point A to point B. Sometimes I don't make the best decisions, but I'm going to make that decision. And then I'm also a people person. So I need to get around people who understands how to build systems. I need to get around people who understand how to nurture and support better. I need to get around with people who will ground me, who say, wait a minute, let's think about that for a second. Okay? Like, is this the right plan? What do you have all the tools in place? I need those people in my life, so I seek those people out. This is all to tell you I'm no better than you. If I can do this, I say it every 322 a month, well, for a single mother. If I can do this, you can too. So I'm not talking about from an I, me, look at me. No, I'm saying take this and run with it. Because this is the things that help me become successful in my life. And success is relative. I get that. Please know I understand that. So I would say I'm giving you these tools and tips so that you can find your way. I'm hoping that even if you take one thing, if it helps, okay, but you have to stop standing still in the place and just hoping and praying something happens for you. God will meet you where you step and not where you stand. You have to take an initiative. You have to move. You have to get going. Once you start the momentum, stop self-sabotaging and then stopping, and then you have to start all over again. I see that more often than not. This is why we're not completing things. Soon as it get good, that fear of success, here it comes, and then I'm stopping. It's not even. It's to me. I don't even see people with the fear of failure. It's literally the fear of success. If this blows up, will I be good enough? Am I good enough? Am I worthy of that? This is why you have to get around the right people in the right environments and get the help that you need. Because that will take you to a level you will never even imagine. Let me say this, if you're doing the work on yourself, because here's why. Some people get in those environments and then they start feeling worse about themselves because people are in there just executing and getting into action and doing things, and they feel like, well, I'm not where this person is, and I'm not. If you're going to be on some comparison and you're not going to use it to fuel you for positivity, I would say to you, then you need to get personal one-on-one help until you can get yourself in that type of group setting. And I understand that. That is a person who needs to work with a one-on-one coach to get them to a certain level to where they can say, okay, I can be in this environment now and listen and cheer those people on there further than I am, because I know that I'm going there and I will even be hired. That's literally how I think. When I see somebody I'm like, when I see a woman hit 7 figures, you have to see me. I'm like, yes, I'm excited. I'm excited for her because I know what's coming for me. I wish people would get that. I don't like, oh man, look at her. No, I remember when Jamie Watkins, and I actually just went to dinner with Jamie, when her book came out, I was like, yes, it was one of, as soon as I saw the pre-order and bought it. Why? Because I was excited. I knew it was coming for me. Seeing someone else be successful, it should not put you in a place of making you feel any less than. It should make you excited. Because to me, I knew her for years. She knows the old me, okay? And literally can say, oh, I know there's a God. Because the woman that I show up as today, I was none of that. And when I say none of that, okay? I mean, mean, negative, loud, some would say ghetto, just all of the above. None of that. And I don't take credit for it. I know there is a God. I'm just being real with y'all. I know there's a God. Because to see who I am and how I think, even my mindset, I didn't have this mindset before. Collaboration and teamwork, none of that. I didn't trust a soul because of what happened to me. And again, to know more about my story, you know it every time. I'm going to tell you, you got to get the book. And it'll help you find your way too, because this is all the tips and tools that I use to take me from that $322 a month welfare, government owes me something mindset to the woman that you see today. The woman who's 25 years plus in corporate management, thriving, doing wonderful in my company, to make it anywhere 25 plus years at this point, y'all. You know you have to be some of the best of the best. It is what it is. And not only that, I have my own business that I also launched. And again, I wrote and became a publisher. I was like, I can become a small press publisher. I can do this. And I did it. Why? Because I was around the right people in the right places at the right time. And you can do this too. Don't look at this and say, well, oh, she's just talking about... I don't ever talk about my story unless I'm using it to tell you exactly what I'm saying right now. Because I'm, as a human being, that's not important. What's important is for you to know that you absolutely can make it to wherever you want in life. You can be, do, have whatever you desire. But you have to get into massive action. You have to execute. Stop just consuming and not moving, because that's what's happening. It's great to read the books. I read them too. But if it's a book that's not going to move the needle and where you want to be and what you want to do and to help you with your mindset, why are you reading it? If you're listening to content, the content that you should be consuming is the content that's going to help move the needle, to help you master whatever it is whatever field that you're in, so you can go to the next level. It should always be about mindset, shifting the mindset. Every level requires another level of mindset. It really does. And I'm learning more and more of that now as I place myself in yet a new environment this year. I'm telling you guys, I don't ever come here. I am the leader who is determined to lead by example. I will never ever tell anyone to do something that I have not done myself. I don't believe in just giving somebody a theory or a thought. No, this is what I do. So yeah, this year I just hired on a new coach. We keep missing each other on email, child. But a new coach to take me to the next level of what I'm ready for now. Every single year I'm gonna do it, because this is what I say I want. And I want people to understand that you have to stop complaining about things and not doing anything about it, because the only person that can change it is you. You can't look to your spouse. You can't look to your friends. You can't look to your mama, your daddy, nobody. Nobody's going to rescue you. I had to learn that too. And I know sometimes it feels hard. But here's the truth of the matter. Once you get consistent with it, it gets easier. It does. And I'm not going to front like it don't feel hard. I'm not going to tell you I never cried. I did all of the above. Cried, kicked, screamed, hollered, all of it. And I would do it all over again to get to where I am today. A place of peace and freedom. A place that I could honestly sit and tell you that I'm happy in. So I would do it all over again. And now I'm charged to bring you along. And if you desire to be different, to have different, to level up in your life, I'm your girl. Reach out to me. www.moesass.com is my website. info@moesass. You can always just email me and ask me a question. I'm not untouchable. I always answer back to anybody who reaches out to me. Anything you want to know. If you want to buy the book, I'll put the link in the bio. But again, I'm gonna tell you something about my book. It has questions in there for you to. It's all about doing the work. It's not just another read. No, it's work, because that's what's gonna change things for you. You have to put in the work. You can't just wake up one day, oh, I want to be a millionaire. I'm a manifest. That's not how that works. You have to put in the work. So I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. March Madness, baby. We got it.